Our movie starts with an intro of Earth and how it was invaded by alien species about 9 years ago. And humans didn't really have any chance against the aliens, so all governments around the world just surrendered. And the military have been disarmed, and the aliens have taken over the Earth's government. And the aliens have been living here for a while now, and they've walled up a bunch of cities around the world, and they actually live underground and they subsist on the Earth's minerals. And the aliens don't go out unless there's something really big, like today's event, which is called Unity Day, the anniversary of the day the aliens conquered Earth. And since all the governments in the world have surrendered to these aliens, people have accepted their fate and they now work with the aliens. But there are some people that resist all of this, like Chicago's resistant group, Phoenix. And Phoenix are a group of people who are determined to destroy the aliens and save the human race. And their last attack has failed, and it's thought that all of them, including their leader Rafa, have been wiped out. There's always a resistance to these kinds of situations, isn't there? I mean, there's a resistance to our government right now. There's always people who just don't like how things are done. They're like, we're gonna resist! And these are basically them in this scenario. And as I've said, today is Unity Day, and everybody's gathering in the stadium, and the aliens are actually gonna come outside of the underground lair that they've built for themselves, where they just subsist on our minerals, and they're gonna attend this event. And then we're introduced to Gabriel, who lives in the small neighborhood of Filson, and since the aliens took over the world, the disparity between the rich and the poor has become a lot bigger. And those who work for the aliens directly are very rich, but those others like Gabriel are very much so poor and very neglected, and nobody really cares about them, like how our system is right now, even without aliens. And Gabriel woke up early today because he's gonna go see a friend about escaping the city of Chicago. And he plans to escape the city through the lake, because he's not gonna make it past the main checking points, and they also can't hide from the roaches. And the roaches are these drones that track everyone. And every person in the city of Chicago has been implanted with a chip below their neck so that the roaches can track and identify them, and also track them wherever they go. And if these roaches identify you as a threat, you'll be immediately arrested by the police. And then we see Gabriel meeting up with his friend Jurgis, and they go to his garage, and they get there because they're fixing a boat so that they can escape through the lake. And Jurgis gives Gabriel a gun, and Gabriel's really surprised because civilians are not supposed to have a gun. And if you get caught with a gun and you're a civilian, you're gonna get into a lot of trouble. And after Gabriel saw the gun, he just tells him to hide it, and Gabriel leaves for work. And then we are introduced to William, the police commander in Chicago, and he is with a prostitute, but he can't really do much of anything since that's also illegal, and she gives him a present and just leaves. Yeah, even in a world ruled by aliens, prostitution is still illegal. So after not doing anything with the prostitute, William goes back to the station and he meets up with his partner. And William is convinced that the Phoenix resistance still exists and that they might plan an attack today, on Unity Day. And his partner tells him that he's just paranoid, and William then just decides to go meet up with his informant. And Gabriel, who was working, was actually doing something else and looking for somebody. Apparently somebody in the neighborhood has contracted him to give a handmade cigarette to someone, and since they promised him a lot of money, he decided to do it. And this job was basically to bring the cigarette to a woman who works there. So he decides to leave work to meet this woman, but just when he gets out of work, Commander William was waiting for him outside. And William tells him to get inside the car, and inside the car, he asks him if he knows anything about the Phoenix. And Gabriel tells him that he's not a snitch, and even if he did know something about the Phoenix, he wouldn't tell him a damn thing. And William asks Gabriel all this because he is the brother of Rafa. And William knew both Gabriel and Rafa before he died, and William was actually partners with their father, who was also a cop, until he was killed by the aliens. And William sees Gabriel's cigarette, and he warns him that he might die like his brother if he doesn't listen to him. And he tells him that he's trying to protect him from doing something stupid, but Gabriel doesn't listen to him at all, and he just leaves the car. And Gabriel goes to the place where he was supposed to meet the lady and deliver the cigarette, but when he gets there, they put a collar on him so that he doesn't get tracked by the drones, and they take him inside their van and take him to another place.
Wait, hold on. Did you subscribe to our channel? Come on guys, you're here, you're watching the video. Help us out by hitting the subscribe button, as it really helps out me and my team to make more videos for you guys. And now, let's get back to the recap.
And when he enters this place, he sees his supposed dead brother Rafa, and he couldn't believe his eyes. They hug, and Gabriel asks Rafa how he's still alive. And Rafa tells him that the last time their plan failed, he took out his chip and he went into hiding. And Gabriel is pretty surprised to hear this because he didn't know that it was possible to take out the chip. And Rafa tells him that that there are a few people who can perform the operation. And after they catch up, Gabriel tells Rafa that he's planning to leave the city through the lake and that they should go together right now. And Rafa tells him that this is a great idea, but he won't be able to join him. He tells him that the resistance group, Phoenix, is still in operation and that they plan to blow up the aliens today when they come out of their hiding. And he tells him that the aliens will use up all of Earth's resources soon, and if they don't stop them now, human life will be unsustainable. And Rafa tells his brother to go out of the city immediately before trouble starts, and he gives him some cash and they hug goodbye, and Gabriel leaves. And Gabriel runs to his apartment and he tells his girlfriend that they have to go now. And she tells him that there's no way to escape the city, and he tells her his idea of escaping through the lake. And he also tells her that his brother is still alive and that he told him that there will be trouble soon because he's gonna blow up a bomb to destroy the aliens. And his girlfriend doesn't seem like she wants to leave the city, and she begs Gabriel to stay, but Gabriel starts packing up his bags because he cannot stay in Chicago anymore. And while he was going out, apparently, William has bugged Gabriel's apartment and he heard everything. And now William is sure that Phoenix still exists, and he sends the information to the commissioner and he leaves to talk to Gabriel. And when Gabriel goes out of his apartment, he sees William and he starts to run through this tight alleyway so that William doesn't catch him. And William starts following him with the drones, and he tracks him to a parking lot, but Gabriel manages to escape and go to a hideout. And the Phoenix resistance group has figured out a way to get an invisible alien bomb, and they attach it to the mayor of Chicago. And they plan to detonate it when the aliens come out of their hiding on Unity Day. And the aliens technically come out to actually meet the mayor, and if the mayor has the bomb on him, their mission is gonna be successful. And the Phoenix group consists of different people from all walks of life, and they only communicate by a very complex code, but today they meet in person to accomplish their mission. And their leader, Number 1, won't be joining them today, but Number 1 has organized all the information they need and hired a person to alter their chip so that they won't be tracked by the drones. And the entire team, including Rafa, goes to the stadium where the celebration was happening, and they all hold their position until the mayor gets close enough to the aliens. The ceremony starts and the Unity song is on, meaning there's a song for this specific day, for this celebration. Yeah, I know, it's pretty corny, but I kinda like this song, it's kinda stuck in my head. Anyways, the mayor gets the call that the aliens are actually ready to meet him. He goes to meet them, and then the explosion goes off, boom, and the stadium erupts into chaos, and the team disperse and they try to run away from the stadium. And even though the bomb went off, it didn't quite reach the aliens yet. And the aliens see this as an act of war, and they summon the commissioner. And they tell them that if they don't find the Phoenix members fast, the city will be destroyed completely with everybody still in it. And the aliens also give them their hunters to help the police catch the Phoenix members. And William is on this case, and he goes to the stadium, and Rafa and his team were trying to blend in with the others using their new identities. But William recognizes Rafa and he arrests him. And the city is now under martial law, and the special forces come in and they find Gabriel from his hiding. And William interrogates Gabriel, and he asks him to help and cooperate in getting the leader of the Phoenix team. And Gabriel obviously refuses, and then William takes him to another room where he shows him his brother being tortured for information. And he tells him that if he helps them, they'll actually spare his brother's life, but if not, things are not gonna go well for Rafa. And Rafa tells Gabriel that he's already a dead man and not to give any information to William. But Gabriel couldn't see his brother being tortured, and he agrees to help him. And then William gives Gabriel a false information of a map of the closed site of Chicago. And then he tells him to take this to the leader of the Phoenix, and the police will track him and then take down the leader. And Gabriel agrees to all of this, and then he takes the map to the Phoenix team, and they're all impressed with this map, and they agree to set him up with their leader, Number 1. And when Number 1 sees this map, Number 1 agrees to meet up with him and gives the address of his location to Gabriel. And Gabriel goes to this location, and when he opens the door, we find out that Number 1 is actually the prostitute that was talking to William a couple scenes back. And before she could talk to him or say anything, the police who were tracking Gabriel break in and they shoot her dead. And as they were looking throughout her home, they find a computer, a laptop with all the information on the members of the Phoenix. And when the police try to track down every member, they find that every member has apparently killed themselves. And William then goes to the representatives of the aliens, and he tells them that the Phoenix team has been neutralized. And he also reveals to them that the only way that the Phoenix leader knew a lot about the aliens was because she was a prostitute and she was sleeping with a lot of high-ranking officials. And he tells them that the commissioner himself is even compromised, and then he shows them a recording of him. And the aliens then reward William for his hard work, and they make him commissioner. And the commissioner is like a very privileged person because he actually gets to meet the aliens face to face, so this promotion is a huge honor for William. And the aliens have also called off the destruction on the city because the issue issue has been resolved. And later on, William meets up with Gabriel and he tells him that his brother has been spared because of his cooperation. And Gabriel tells him that he's betrayed his brother's trust and also ruined his plan. And then William takes a memory card from his phone and he gives it to Gabriel, and he tells him that maybe Rafa's plan was to actually fail. And Gabriel opens the video on the memory card and he sees that it's his own baby shower. And he sees his mom and William having lunch and other members of the Phoenix group, including the prostitute that got killed. And on the last scene, we see William, who's now the commissioner, and he's now cleared to meet with the aliens. And when he descends down the elevator, we see that he's actually covered with the invisible bomb that the Phoenix team was gonna use to eliminate the aliens. And William was always part of the Phoenix apparently, and this was Rafa's plan all along. And the movie ends here, but in the credits, we see that the mission was successful and the closed side of Chicago was successfully destroyed, and this raises and initiates other people around the world to join the resistance, and a new war has now begun between humans and aliens. And that is how the movie wraps up. I hope you guys enjoyed our recap. Remember to leave a like, leave a comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.